Now, you know what I'm thinking with all this.
Let me hear.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if you know this, but you're not going to be surprised.
I feel like you're about to give me something, man. Go ahead.
You don't know what it is?
Let's go,
man. Do you have a guess?
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Durant should come back.
Well, he already said he doesn't want to.
When this was, 1 or 2 months ago, though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was maybe under the presumption that they'd be playing end of June or even just June in general, maybe even end of May.
Okay.
This is end of July now.
Okay.
If you look back, I went and checked out star players that have come back from Achilles injury.
Okay.
The average day span for the recovery process was 269 days.
Okay.
The most was Boogie Cousins. I think it was 350 something.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I looked at the star players. So it was Kobe, Dominique Wilkins, Chauncey Billups, LaFonso Ellis, bunch of these dudes. There was like 7 or 8 guys. Durant's injury, this is going to be probably close to 400 days if he came back July 31st when the NBA will be resuming. So I know I'm pretty reckless with this type of stuff where I want to see my star players. I want to see people come back. It's going to be exciting. But it makes complete sense in this standpoint. I mean,
How does it make complete sense?
I just listed off the days of the average time span of all these guys coming back.
Did you look into how many of those guys, when they did come back, had another injury? That wasn't the Achilles, because we talked about with Boogie how he had the Achilles, then it was another injury, then it was another injury, right? We talked about how last year, or not last year, the year when Durant got hurt, remember he was coming off of an injury, and same theory, well, hey man, you spent X amount of days, you're healed up, that healed up, okay, cool. And then he comes back and something else get hurt, because a lot of times you can have an injury that is on one part of your body. You come back and everything isn't where it needs to be, or you come back a little bit too soon and then something else get hurt because it's overcompensating for that area. So that's the only reason why I say in theory, it's not as simple as just look at X amount of days and he can come back and it's that simple. I personally would rather him just go ahead and continue to sit out the rest of this year like the plan was, because
Kyrie's got to come back too. I think he would be back.
Well, Kyrie is more open to coming back. And his injury wasn't as serious as Durant's. We already have seen when that whole, well, man, you want your star players out there. Man, I want to see Durant. We saw how that turned out for him in the NBA Finals. We saw that. And
he was going out like a warrior, though, man.
Okay, you see what that got him, right?
I know. I wouldn't have blamed him for sitting out. It's his decision, but
everybody was big on, hey man, get him back out there. Don't say they weren't.
I think
everybody was big on it, man.
If anyone was in Durant's position, they would have played.
I'm just simply saying, you saw what that got him. They protected Clay from himself because Clay was another one. Torn ACL was going to stay out there. Remember that? We saw him run down the court. Man, I'm ready to go. You saw what that could have done. So all I'm simply saying is, man, in these type of situations, sometimes, man, be smart. Think long term. That's all I'm saying, man.
This could be a good opportunity for him, though.
What's the opportunity?
Where the seeding is not going to matter at all.
Okay.
And this whole scenario levels the playing field a little bit.
So let's be real. Are the Nets a finals contender right now?
If him and Kyrie came back, yes.
After him sitting out a whole year, his first competitive
it's just
basketball.
Durant, dude. It's Durant.
I don't want to hear it's just Durant.
They're going to have 8 regular season games for a ramp up, and they're going to have this whole 2-month period. So that's different even than him coming back in the middle of the regular season.
Please help me understand. This is more than enough for you.
What do you mean?
2 months. He hasn't played a basket. He ain't played basketball all year. He just started getting back out there shooting on the court this year. Was that January when they posted the video of him finally getting back out there running around, right? And now you're ready to take him and put him in a competitive, because it's different. We talked about this. We haven't seen him in a one-on-one set. We haven't seen him in a 5-on-5 setting. It's a difference between the controlled environment of, hey, man, run to the elbow, catch the ball, dribble, shoot. That's different than, all right, now we're going to actually play defense and you're going against a Joel Embiid, or you're going against a Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're going against these type of guys, offense and defense. And let's be real. If Durant comes back, you're not going to want to see him play a couple of minutes here and there and be smart. No, you're going to want him out there. No. You're going to want him out there. When the playoffs start, after those 8 games, it's only 8 games. It's not that long. So after them 8 games could be done in 2 weeks. Let's be real about it. So once that's done, you're going to want to see him out there. You're going to be like, man, you out here, man, play.
It's completely up to them and the team.
Come on, man.
It'd be better for him to be out there than not, in my opinion.
Come on, man.
I just don't get...
You don't care about these players, man. You don't care about these players at all, man. Cool.
I just don't see what the risk is if...
What?
It's going to be 400 days where the average time span...
You don't see the risk.
The average time span was 269 days for these guys.
If anybody should understand
400
the risk,
days.
If anybody should understand the risk, it's Durant, because he is a victim of that. Coming back too soon. He's a victim of that. If the plan was, hey, you sitting out the rest of the season, that's the plan. Period.
Hold on. So I think you might be getting mixed up with what I'm saying.
I'm not getting mixed up, man.
No.
I understand the 400 days. I hear all that.
What he decides, he could decide. I don't care about that. I don't think the Nets should hold him back. If he wants to play, let him play.
I think you have to protect the player from themselves if that's the case.
See, that's where we disagree.
Well, yeah, because you already said, you haven't said this, but in theory, if Ben were to have a concussion, but you know what, man, it's fourth quarter, I need you put him back out there.
I don't know when I said that.
I said you probably didn't say it verbatim like that, but I know you're on the edge. You would edge on the side of, man, get him back out there. If he say he's good, get him back out there.
I don't know. There's too much at play there. Where?
What do you mean?
I don't know what type of conversations are going on behind the scenes. I don't know what Ben's feeling. I don't know these things.
Stop it, bro. But you don't even care about that with Durant, obviously.
What do you, dude? I just don't see the risk. I just laid it out to you. 400 days versus 269 day average time span. Plus, you're getting a 2-month whole break right here where he can practice, do the training camp, 8 regular season games.
Okay.
I just don't think it's as risky as people might think.
Okay, but there is a risk in there, correct?
It's risk for anyone. Risk for anyone.
So if you are Durant, you're just coming back from missing a whole season because of you listening to people that, hey man, it's a risk, but it's a risk for anybody.
It's got to be a question.
If you're gonna do that, why are you even why go down that route again?
If he's completely healthy, why not? If he's completely healthy,
okay.
That's my question too. I mean, obviously, if there's some type of nagging,
it's cool, man. You don't
if
care
there's something nagging him,
so you
don't come back.
Me you don't think that there is any lingering, any residual from blowing out your Achilles a year later? You don't think it's any residual because the same way you look. No, wait a minute.
I'm looking at these stats, dude. I'm looking at these facts.
Now, okay, I'm glad you said that. So you looked up the statistical part, right? The how many days they missed part, right? Did you look up the interviews that they took after during that season where they still have all said the same thing, football included, where they're like, yo, even when I came back, I still wasn't all the way healthy. Yes, I was cleared, but I still wasn't 100% where I was. It took me probably 2 years for me to really feel good, 100% able to do everything that I could do beforehand. All of them have said that. But of course, not everybody wants to talk about that because that doesn't fit the whole, man, X amount of days, he's good to go. It never works like that. It never does. When they tell you you're healthy, you're technically cleared, you are not, man. You still feel the lingering. You still feel the residual. You still have scar tissue that's going to be breaking up. Trust me, he's going to have scar tissue breaking up for the next 2 years.
Wait, then why doesn't he sit out for 2 to 3 years then? Why don't these guys sit out for 2 to 3 years?
Because they tell you, every time they tell you you're cleared. Man, when I hurt my knee, I tore my MCL, I tore my LCL. They told me I was clear at 4 weeks. I still couldn't even cut. You're clear though. You're good. And you put a brace on and you go back out there. You put, hey, man, dislocate your elbow. Hey, man, tell you, man, a week later, man, you clear, man, you gotta go back out there. You still don't think you feel that? A year later, you do. High ankle sprain, same concept, 4 to 6 weeks. You go back that, man, you do not feel the same. I felt the high ankle sprain 2 years later. That's just how it is. So when you're telling me that it's not a risk, oh, man, he's good to go. It's X amount of days. It still isn't enough
time. What's the difference between him coming back during the regular season if it was a 300-day layoff? Bro, you know what I mean?
The thing, though, if you're looking at it, man, when you look at
what's the difference between him coming back and Boogie Cousins coming back last year?
So this is the thing, right? So this is the thing. If it was going to be a traditional offseason, right, and this would be a traditional season coming up, the reason why he wouldn't play at all this past season, you would have him play next season because over the 82 games, he's not going to come out and play 82 games. We're talking an 8-game season, 8-game regular season, and then playoffs. You know how condensed that is? There is no gradual buildup. You're right into it right now. That's the difference. When I got 82 games, I got time. Okay, let's see how you're on this night. All right, cool. Take a couple nights off. All right, see how you're on that. Okay, cool. I bet. All right, increase your workload a little bit. Okay, and by then your body continues to acclimate through the duration of a season. And now when it's playoff time, now you're good. Boogie Cousins last year, remember, he didn't come out there at the beginning of the season. Remember, it took time. It was like, okay, after the break, now we're going to get you ready. That's going to be the vibe. That's going to be the plan. That's the concept. When we're talking 8 games and then playoffs, you don't have that luxury. You don't have the luxury of, hey, Durant, come on here and play this game right here. All right, chill. How you feel? All right, come here and play that game. Chill. How you feel? Because after that, it's playoffs. It's time to go. And you already know the intensity is only going to keep getting higher and higher and higher. So now instead of him being able to have the proper time to build his body back up to competitive status, not you're cleared to go status, because cleared to go versus playing competitively are drastically different. So until you get to that point, that's why for me, I'm like, I don't see the benefit of him going out there in this situation because it's only setting him up for failure. That's why. He hasn't done anything in a competitive 5-on-5 environment. So now you're going to give him 2 months to, number one, get back in shape, right? Because let's be real, they haven't been able to get in shape. So he has to get back in shape. That's number one. While at the same time getting his Achilles ready to go. And at the same time, hoping that nothing else breaks down in the process of doing those two things, because at the same time, your body's going to be overcompensating because of that Achilles having to catch up to speed. That's a lot of variables. And now you're talking about 8 games on top of that because, hey, it's quick. It's time to go. And then playoffs, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, personally.
If he feels like he's ready, he should go.
And that's why I say if that's the case, if he feels he's ready to go, as a team, you should protect him from himself.
I don't know, dude. I just think it's going to be 400 days.
It's different,
2 months.
We talked about how my perspective of players and how I value them as a whole body is different than how a lot of people, sometimes we talked about this with the AB situation, how even when AB was going off his rocker and I said, man, this is dangerous where he's headed, people were still like, man, I don't care about all that. Just let him play. And I'm like, bro, you don't care about him as a person if you want him to play because you already see where this is going with him. And after we had that conversation, that's when you were like, you know what, you're right. Yeah, I care about him if he's mentally good, then have him back out there. Prior to that, everybody was on this kick, man, just get him back out there. So for me, when I tell you I value the player as a person first, as a human first, like sports are cool, great, absolutely. But I'm not about to risk that, man. I don't want to pump that because of my person. Oh, I can't wait to see this dude play. Like, that's selfish.
I don't know. I don't want to really dictate how people live their lives, though.
Come on, man. Don't try to do that, man.
I mean, with the AB situation, I mean, if he wants to play, play.
And sometimes you got to save person for yourself. That's the whole purpose of, remember, the independent neurologist with concussions, because players would have a concussion and they would say, well, he want to play. He said he's good to go. Get him back out there. And they're doing more damage for themselves than they could even imagine because, hey, they got that pride, right? I'm going out on my shield. Sometimes you have to protect the person from themselves. No different in boxing. This guy's getting absolutely destroyed. Throwing the towel. No, let me go back out there. Boy, you can't even see right now. Your eye hanging out. No, I'm going back out there. You got to protect him from himself sometime. If that's the case, if he feels like that, you got to protect him from himself.
No, I'm good with that perspective.
You're not good with that perspective, man. You just said you're not. You just said he's good to go put him out there.
I lean more that way.
No, you don't, man. Stop that.
I lean more and live and let live. You let things be. Mm-hmm. And I get that perspective. And it's probably a good reason you have people like that out there who are willing to do that type of stuff.
It's all good, man.
I'm not the type of person to be doing that. That's all. That's all, man.
So by you saying you're not the same person to be doing that, you just justify what I just said then.
Huh?
You just said I'm not the same person to do that.
But there is truth on my side, too. If you're trying to control everything, there might be certain things you're missing out on. That's all.
No, we're talking about health. Health is different.
I'm just talking to the extremes on both sides.
But this is not an extreme. This is just simple. This is health. We're just talking health.
Could it be? I don't know.
We're just talking health.
I don't know.
That's it. I'm sure you were in the finals. Hey, man, get Durant back out there. He's good to go.
I was not. I actually wasn't. We could go back and check the tape. I told him it'd be smart for him not to.
Okay.
I swear to God, I have that tape where I said, dude, if you're thinking long term, it's smart not to play.
But this is different.
No, it's not. No, you don't get my. I'm saying if I'm Durant and I want to play, don't hold me back from playing.
He wanted to play in the finals too. You think that should have held him back?
No.
And we saw that got him there.
No, because that was his decision.
And you saw what he got him. That's all I'm saying.
He's not on the team anymore either.
But you saw what he got him though, right? A blown Achilles and no ring.
Dude, I think most competitors would have done that. Finals game.
Okay.
Championships on the line. Legacy on the line.
Klay Thompson had a blown ACL and he was still going to play. So clearly, you're right. But you have to protect. If the player won't protect themselves, sometimes you have to step in and protect them. If you care about the person, if you don't, wait, man, hey, go back.
I don't know
there.
I think that's an extreme though, saying caring about a person.
Why did they take Klay out? Why did they take Klay out? Klay was ready to go. He was bouncing up and down with the torn ACL. Shot the free throw. Why'd you take him out?
I don't know. You're just trying to be smart about things. You're trying to weigh a bunch of factors.
It's the finals though, right? Legacy on the line.
Dude,
Klay said he wanted to go. Klay ran back down the court and let's go. Remember, he was bouncing.
Aren't we saying that's a little more black and white with what Klay just experienced that ACL right there? Durant
and Klay was ready to go still. Klay said, no, I want to play. I'm good. You saw him. Klay said, I'm ready to go. Keep me in. I'm good. He did not want to get subbed out. You just said if Durant said he's good and wants to go, put him back out there. We saw he was not healthy.
The Durant and Clay
go.
situation was different, though.
How?
Because Durant injured that way before and was still trying to come back.
He still wasn't ready, though. We all knew he wasn't ready. We said, man, this is going to be tight. Him trying to come back is going to be tight. We all said that.
Clay just injured that ACL.
Clay said he was fine.
On the spot.
Clay said he was fine. He said he was fine, right? You just said if the player says he's fine, I don't want to be in control of the guy. Different. Live and let live. Take your chances and all that good stuff, man. That's what you just said.
That's not it. It's a difference between just saying you're fine and being reckless about it. Then, all right, there's actual stats for this. 400 days, the layoff.
Okay.
And that's what I'm saying. Durant and Clay's injury was different. Yeah. Durant injured, what was it, his Achilles, whatever that was. It was like a slight Achilles thing. Or like
no. Remember, they said it was no Achilles.
I don't know what
calf.
It was.
They said it was his calf, and now then when the Achilles blew, then it was like, all right, it might have had some Achilles in it. And that was the whole mystery around it. Is it a calf? Is it Achilles? They weren't saying anything publicly about it.
But he injured that weeks or months. It might have been a month or so. Okay. It was in that Rocket series, I think, right? He injured that prior and was given weeks layoff of trying to rehab and get ready to go.
That's not opposed that much time still.
I'm not saying it is or not, but that's different than just.
I'm sure somebody looked and said, "Man, you've been out for this many days. You're good to go." I'm sure somebody said that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he had his own guys.
Mm-hmm. No, actually, he was using the team guys because remember that's when Iggy came on the offseason and criticized the Warriors training staff. Because Iggy said, man, I was playing with he said he had a stress fracture and they were telling him, oh, you're good. It's a little strain. You can play with that. And he criticized him on that as well. And that's why I say, well, hey, man, sometimes, okay, if you care about this person, then you should step in. But clearly what the Warriors staff was doing wasn't the best. And that's from Iggy, not from my mouth, it's from Iggy's mouth.
Okay. But either way, it's just different. That type of injury is different in how it happened.
I think we can agree to disagree there, man.
Day of an ACL happening versus weeks layoff. It was Durant's decision at the end of the day to come back, and
Clay don't get that luxury though. We've seen players in the NFL finish games with torn ACLs. We've seen that.
I don't know, man.
We've seen it.
I don't know, dude.
We've seen it.
It's on We've Durant. Seen it. I'd say let Durant do it.
Who was the quarterback? Man, was it Phillip Rivers? Maybe.
Yeah,
it was Phillip Rivers. Yeah.
Chargers Patriots game.
Yeah. What's the difference in that then? They let him finish that. What's the difference?
I don't know, man.
He said, "I'm good to go. I'm ready. I can play. I'm good."
I don't know. Dude.
So what's the difference?
I don't know, man. Different organizations, different people. There's a lot of factors. It's not this black or white thing where it's that simple.
I just err on the side of caution when it comes to people's health. That's all.
That's fine.
Yeah,
understood.
That's where we differ.
And I don't know, dude. I'm giving you the facts and the stats that I'm saying there.
I'm with you, bro.
There is a little bit too. There's some caution here, but at the same time,
it's all good, man. We could agree to disagree.
All right,
we could agree to disagree. Right, I ain't tripping. I'm not tripping, man.
It's not a big deal, and the
Nets aren't winning no way. It doesn't matter.
I would put them in the championship.
I would not. I'm going to take a healthy Giannis who's been out there all year over the Bucks. Over the Nets.
KD, Kyrie.
I might even take the Sixers over them. I might even take the Celtics over them. I might even take the Raptors over them.
You know how I am. It's KD, man.
I don't care. I don't care, man.
It's KD.
I don't care. That's a name right now. Until he comes back and proves that he could be KD on this short condensed season, I don't want to hear it, man.